from England's point of view, if we're going to get anything close, I mean, like the player of the series for me as well, the only way I see is when it's Joe Root carries on the form he has in the last 12 months. If he's man of the series for England, I do believe we've got a chance, but that's going to be off the back of he's going to have to emulate a little bit like Cookie did in 10-11, or just a volume of runs and then lead the batting unit to have something similar. If we do that, I think we've got an opportunity. So I don't know who you think your Aussie player of the series would be, but for me, England, if they've got a chance, I think it has to be Rooty right from the front and galvanise the guys and they'll score an absolute truckload of runs.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally Australia we're going to target, or they'll target him being the captain. Look, he's one that I know that's determined. I mean, again, not knowing him that well, but from the outside, the form he's been in, he hasn't had a great time here before in Australia, but that worries me as well from an Australian point of view, because I know he'd be so determined to come out and do so well. I agree with you. I think either him or Ben Stokes for England, I think will have a huge play in this series. I really do with Stokes, and obviously being out for a while, he's had a few dramas. But I think from an Aussie point of view, I know they'd be doing a lot of research on Ben Stokes, and him being fresh and not playing a lot of cricket. That hunger is going to be there for even more. So that's a worrying thing from Australia's point of view. I think probably from our point of view, I think you got to look at Hazelwood. Cummins obviously will do a great job. I think Hazelwood, the way he's bowling at the moment, obviously he's had great white ball form. But I think he seems to carry that form. The length he bowls is not a lot different from red ball to white ball, so that's going to be huge with him. And we probably Steve Smith. We haven't really touched on Steve Smith as yet. Yeah. His Ashes record is unbelievable.
Insane.
So
it's insane.
It's unbelievable. So I think I think for me it's one of those two. I think for Australia. But again, it's going to be huge. I know David Warner's determined as well. The battles we've got coming up. Broad and Warner. Smith and Anderson, Marnus and probably Robinson or Wakesy. It's going to be a great battle with a lot of with the bat and ball.
No, you're right. I just in my head I can see as soon as Root comes to the crease, you're going to have Cummins and the guys literally on point. Whatever's happened, Hazelwood literally. I remember he's the one guy that can just deck that ball back as well into sort of, I suppose, the vulnerable area for Rooty. So I can see that battle being massive. And you said as well in England, I mean, Warner struggled with Broad, but it's a slight different out here, isn't it? Without the dukes, the lengths and that. And obviously, I mean, you feel that Warner batting in these conditions is a completely different animal to the conditions with England in the Duke's ball, where he does go hard at the ball in that channel. And obviously, Broady for 12 months from round the wicket to all left-handers actually has caused them problems at home.
Yeah, that ball he bowls from around the wicket, as you say, it gets most people out, not just David.
Yeah.
But, again, I think he bowls that. He again, watching highlights of the last series, he got the ball to move a little bit as well. So, if he bowls a similar length, he probably won't get that. Again, he won't get that probably movement that he does with the Duke's ball. But I think if he can maybe bowl a fraction fuller, if he can get that similar line but a fraction fuller, he's still going to worry Warner. And again, a lot of the times he got him out in the last series, he came over the wicket and sort of pushed across. So it's a great battle. I think last time you were out here, I think it was Broad and Clark. They had a great battle, and this time again it's going to be Broad and Warner. So it's really exciting knowing those matchups are coming up. And Jimmy with Smith, the same. With Smith, the way he plays over here, he just has so much confidence, and so it's going to be interesting to see how England, not just Jimmy as well, but also the rest of the bowlers try and bowl to Smith and how they attack him, whether they go wide to him or whether they keep it nice and tight on that sort of fourth to off stump line. It's going to be fascinating to see what they do and how they deal with it.
No, you're right. I remember obviously from the last tour, I think England probably went to plan A, B, C, D, E and F, to be honest, to Smith, and nothing worked on the last tour here. So it was, amazing to watch.
Wouldn't be the first team to do that either. You're not the first to do that, but we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, it's going to be it'll be fascinating, really. And like you said, actually, when you start thinking about, I'm sure that morning of the Test match, we'll all be waking up and wishing we were playing, because those moments when the anthems go on and everything is just what you play for. So I think we're chomping at the bit to see how this one pans out.
It's hard to describe that moment, isn't it? That when you get to the ground, and I was trying to describe it on a radio interview I did today, a bit of media, and it sort of gives you tingles thinking about it, but you can't really get that emotion out, because it's just a feeling when as we go, you get up in the morning, you go to the ground, you walk across the ground, and you get in there, what's coming up, and then you have your routines, you do all that, you go through it all, and then you get to that moment where you're called up and say, right, anthem time. It's like, we're on. And again, that moment there when you're walking out, you're lining up, and your anthems are played, that just doesn't, you can't replicate that moment. But what about a prediction, Billy? What do you think? I've been asked that a lot over the last couple of days, and I hate doing predictions. I know Glenn McGrath used to try and get on top of the opposition teams and give his prediction out there, but I'm not a big predictor of tests of results.
For my prediction, my heart's saying one thing and my head's saying something very different. I feel if England can start well, they have a chance, and that's my heart saying it. But my head probably says that it's probably going to be 3-1 Australia. That's sort of my heart says that, but I'm sorry, my head's saying that just from conditions. But there's an opportunity, as you said. I think there was world-class players both sides, but I would have thought they have a confidence. There's an opportunity here. There really is an opportunity for England to win a series.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yourself, what do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not. I'm confident England are going to give a good showing. I was trying to find where they would win. I was sort of going 3-0, maybe 4-0. Again, that's my heart. I think there'll be a draw, maybe 2 in there, and maybe depending on the weather here, which, as you say, could be a good thing for England to walk away from here. Look, you never ride your opposition off, because you just never know what happens, especially after India. But here at the Gabba, but. Yeah, I think we'll win, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as what we think. I hate putting numbers on it. 3-0, maybe 4-0, but again, I don't know where England are going to win. If they're going to win anywhere, maybe the day-night test.
Yeah, that was the only one I felt that if you win a toss on the day-night test and you get the right break of, you score your runs during the day and you bowl in the nice periods where it's that twilight period.
Yeah, twilight.
They have a suiting attack, really. That's sort of English seeming attack that might expose anything that's there. But as you said, one thing, my head's saying one thing and my heart's saying something completely different. But but like I said, I think both teams have both teams have the class, but also have a bit of vulnerability in there as well.
Yeah, and I think that England have been written off a little bit with the young blokes coming over, and I think that's exciting, because first in, they haven't had the damage of potentially being in series before. That they haven't won. It's a new thing for them, so I think that's exciting to have new blood, and again with a little bit with that older sort of experience around the place. Who knows, mate? I think it's going to be a really, really close contested series.
Let's hope so.